Hello and welcome to the Abundance Games. My name is Dr. Pinky Feinstein and I will be here with you in all the 72 chapters of this program. It is a program I have decided to create 1 year ago when I realized as a psychiatrist and as a creator of many self-healing programs that issues related to money and abundance cause problems to many people, that it is a kind of cultural disease. As a doctor, when I realized this, that this is a kind of a cultural disease, I said to myself, you're going to sit down and you're going to create a self-healing program like you did for other issues, but now you're going to focus on abundance. So this is what I did. First in Hebrew, now in English. And while I created the Hebrew version of this program, so much knowledge came to my mind, things that I wasn't aware of when I started creating the program. The concept of abundance became much clearer to me, much more practical, much more emotional, spiritual, and creative. Something that can become feasible, more tangible, doable. And this is what I wanted to meet or to find or to create, a program that helps people heal their abundance muscles, abundance abilities, a program that will shake the current norms that don't let people get closer to their natural abundance. And I can say, after completing the Hebrew program and doing it myself for 2 rounds, that I have found a kind of emotional spiritual goldmine of knowledge and tools regarding the place of abundance in human mind, human life, and the way it is related to everything we cope with, the way it is related to every program, every problem we have to deal with. I wasn't aware of this until I created this program, so I'm proud and happy to start this program also in English, and thank you for joining me. First part out of 12 parts of the program is about the spirituality of abundance. We have here 12 different parts. You can read about the 12 parts in the material that is attached to the video. And part 1 is about the spirituality of abundance. Many times when we try to deal with some problem, we miss this important and basic part, the spirituality of this issue. Even if we deal with creativity, even if we deal with anxieties, with problems inside family, everything we can think about is also related to spirituality. And I'm not saying one has to believe in anything. I will deal with differences in kinds of faith in chapter 2. But as a general rule, when we want to create a change, we must also take into account the value and the role of spirituality in this issue. So this is where we begin. And it is good, I believe, to begin a process, a journey with the spiritual view. And of course, our job is to ground the information. Even if we talk about spirituality, abundance is always about grounding the spiritual materials, spiritual concept. And we will go deeper into this concept later. So let's begin chapter 1. Chapter 1, title, Many Things Are Not in my control, Probably most of them. Abundance begins with understanding and getting closer to what I truly have. What I have, what is in my possession. Usually we are aware only of a part of our true possession. Being abundant means getting closer to my true assets, and we are always in a kind of a gap. There is always a gap between what we know we have and what we truly have. And abundance is about connecting to our true, genuine program inside us, what we truly have, and then to expand it. Okay? And paradoxically, if I want to know better what I have, if I want to know what is in me that can grow into abundance, I can begin in a spiritual view of understanding that many things are not in my control, even the things that I possess. In other words, if I want to get in touch of my assets, I may need to stop thinking too much. I may need to rely more on my right brain mechanisms. I may need to stop trying to control what I cannot control. If I want to connect to my assets, I can do it only through my feelings, through believing that I truly have what I feel that I have. If I use too much left brain observations, if I use too much logic in attempt to control, to reasonably to understand the things that are there in my mind, to understand my assets, my belongings, my spiritual belongings, I will not be able to get closer to them. Only when I realize that many things are not in my control, and it's okay, that actually most of the things in my life are not in my control, this is exactly the point where I can open my mind when I'm able to let go of the need of control. Only then I can start a process of getting closer to what I truly have, to my true assets. And when I'm talking about the spiritual aspect of abundance, this is where we begin. Being spiritual means having kind of knowing, intuitive knowing if you want, kind of knowing, kind of connection that I cannot explain to me, to my destination, to the reason for me to be here. And I'm saying again, you cannot talk about being abundant without understanding who you are, what you have, what you possess, what your abilities are, what is the space that you can truly grow on, and stop trying to compare yourself or putting much effort in places where your personality cannot grow. If we want to be abundant, we may need to stop trying to control this idea of asking myself where my abundance is, and we may want to let go of control and start feeling it. And I'm not saying you need to start doing it now, it's just an idea. And it is important for me to note this in this very beginning, because many times when people think or talk about abundance, they use their left brain too much and they associate abundance with money. And when you associate your focus on money, you also bring some attempt to control. The need to be rich in financial assets, have more money, is usually associated with terms of control. Now, I'm not saying that being abundant doesn't mean getting richer, but not in all people. This is the way abundance will look like. Abundance is truly about happiness, about freedom, about expanding who you are, who you truly are, the way your personality wants and needs. And for this to take place, we may need to let go of control for the moment, so we will be able to start connecting with what is there through our heart, through our believing in ourselves, through our feelings, through our emotions. We may need for now as a start, so you can open the doors for the spiritual aspect of abundance, to let go of control and to understand that in most things in my life I have no control. From this point, when you are able to agree with me, I can offer you a great process that some of it will take place in your unconsciousness. You will have no control on it. And your abundance muscles will start healing themselves without your control. All you have to do is meet me here in the video and do the exercises and stay. But it will succeed if we get into some spiritual mode that is, for now, we don't try to control the process too much. We realize that most of the things we try to control are not the things that we can grow or expand. And if we want to expand, if we want our assets to have their natural way of expanding, we will need to let go of control of them. It's not easy. It's not easy. But I bring this idea here for the first chapter, the first lesson, so you can open your mind to this possibility. You won't be able to let go of control of everything, of course not. But you may start the process with this mindset of understanding that abundance will come after you do the work. Lots of work here with me, and letting your unconsciousness heal itself and get in touch to the natural way we do abundance. And this can take place once we agree to let spirituality in. Spirituality begins with understanding that we don't understand so much, that we don't have so much control, and yet we can influence our mind to get into a healing process. In this place, the healing process is about abundance. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining us. This is chapter 1. I invite you to do also the exercises related to chapter 1, and from there to meet me in chapter 2. That will discuss what do I believe in, what is my spiritual direction, and how it connects to my abundance muscles.